that today we would, I'm not going to say kill or die for, but we wish we had the opportunity to push back the clock, so to speak, and capitalize on that opportunity. But when you have to ask yourself, why didn't we do that? It was education. It was education, understanding what Bitcoin was, what blockchain technology was, what direction everything was going to start moving into in this new age digital world. It was new. It was foreign to us, right? So a lot of people slept on it because we didn't have a community of people that could share enough information with us in order to make it make sense. We have a community of people. We have resources and we have a blueprint that has already been laid out and executed in front of us. Many of actually, Bitcoin's not the only one. There are other things that are out there that if we knew what we knew today, we would have positioned ourselves much differently. This particular platform, for me anyway, and the MoveQuest opportunity and the MoveQuest token, what it represents, how value's created, what the project does for people or has the potential to do for people that choose to adopt it, puts us all in that same position. And the question I have is, do we leverage, if you don't understand, are you leveraging those that are around you to educate yourself to the point to where you can make a decision whether it's right for you to truly embrace what this project represents or not? But I just encourage you not to just wait to see what happens, to see if it's successful, to see if it does what many of us are saying we believe it can do. Because you'll still be here, the project will still be here, but the opportunity to position yourself like you can today will not. So I just strongly encourage everyone to truly, if you don't understand something, and you may not get it tonight, you may not get it tomorrow night, but let that be the focus that we're working on so that we truly understand what this is, because I truly believe that there will be some MoveQuest retirenaires. I'm not going, whatever that means to you, right? Whatever that means to you, produced with this platform. And many of them are going to leverage the system itself and use their physical activity to generate the profits. And before we bring Lynett on, I just want to share this real quick. The value proposition about what's coming down the pipe right now in front of us. Many of us are aware of the hatchery and the fact that we can take our current assets that we're currently holding and allow those assets to work for us. Instead of us working for them, we can put them in the hatchery and allow them to produce us additional digital assets that we can earn from passively by leasing them to other individuals. Or if you haven't been in a position yourself, or if you know other people that are not in a position themselves to be able to afford to get 8 high-powered miners, they can start with a little, put it in the hatchery, and generate assets that they can start mining with over time. Because that's one thing that's going to be here, time. It's going to go by. So how do we utilize that time? And with this project, we can do that by leveraging the assets and the physical activity that we're already producing on a daily basis and work our way into a group of assets that are yielding an income producing asset on a daily basis. And as the days and weeks come, which I believe is getting real close, we're going to start having more discussion. These calls like this won't be quote unquote presentations, so to speak. There'll be explanations and clarifications on what it is that we have and how we can leverage it and strategy and things of that nature. Because the more people we have using the ecosystem, submitting on a daily basis to get those digital assets, that's what brings the increased value to the asset. The asset, the MQT token, already has value. It's just that the increase occurs as more people become knowledgeable of it and decide to utilize it on a daily basis. That's what I'm looking forward to. And as we have the leasing of imminently upon us, that is what I believe going into 2025 is going to look like. And I don't want anybody to say they didn't know or they didn't have the opportunity to understand what that potentially looks like in a very short period of time when 500, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 people come in and start leasing next month, end of this month, or whenever that may be. And that increased liquidity coming in from using, whether they bought anything or not, just using the ecosystem, you'll start seeing that value go up. Don't miss out on that opportunity for the lack of information, because the information is here. And if it's not presented in the way you need it, say something. Reach out, talk to somebody in Discord, call the person to share this with you, or anybody, to get to someone that can articulate it in the manner or in the method by which you need to receive it to gain that understanding. That's all I got, Ken. I'll let you, if you have anything else, or let Miss Lynett come on and share whatever she wants to share with the community today.
I'm not following up none of that. Let's bring up Miss Lynett. That was beautiful, man. That's great stuff. Where is she?
I say I got all kinds of things I want to go over tonight, but I gotta get them all streamlined. I got everything open right now.
All good.
So let's see. Should I start with all of the updates first?
Yes, that'd be perfect.
Okay. So exciting news because the leasing is done. We are gonna do a little bit more testing, but what we're going to do is we're going to start training our community on the leasing before we actually take it live. We're 2 weeks away from Christmas Eve, a really bad time to introduce a new feature. People's focuses right now are on Christmas, gifts, family, and so this is such a fantastic feature of our project. We're going to wait and release it on the 26th of December. We're going to wait until the day after Christmas. Not only that, but all of you who are in the hatchery, you've got a lot of vanguards in there. I would say the majority in the hatchery are for the vanguards. That just tells me that a lot of people want to evolve them up to the Titan level, the highest powered miner there. And so we also want to give you that time to let that hatchery complete. Those of you got started on the day that we released the hatchery. I think, Herschel, you were telling me December 24th or 25th is the
Exactly.
the finish day for that, so you can claim them.
Correct.
All right. And right at this point in time, we're not going to increase the amount of MoveQuest in the hatchery just yet. We want to see like a constant demand for it. So that way people whose incubations have completed, when they leave the incubator, it opens it up for more people to come in. So you kind of got to watch and see, what that gauge is at. If it's at, 99%, you know that you've got room to slide in there and get some of those miners hatched. That way it becomes more of a demand instead of just always available. Not only that, it's going to be a really good balance when the leasing does come out. I'm going to share my screen, so I'm going to shut off my video because it always makes it difficult on I don't have the best connection when I am sharing my video. I've learned that over time here. God, there's just so much I want to share with you guys, but there's so much I probably should just leave to surprise you. You guys are going to be just blown away when you see everything that's taking place. Did walk through the site with a really good friend of mine yesterday. Also very crypto knowledgeable, especially when it comes to user interfaces. And we found a lot of things that we could improve there to make it more intuitive for our users. So we're working on that. So you're going to see some changes probably over the next several days to the way the dev.movequest.com site looks at the moment. Just because we really want to make this so super simple so that when people do come to the website, they know exactly what is taking place. And right now, I don't feel like we've met that burden. So we're going to get that done. We're going to be releasing the app most likely the same day that we release the leasing. So we'll give you more updates on that. I'm not going to guarantee that the app is ready, but there are some things that we're still trying to complete with the app before we release that. The Web3 is exactly like the app. And so all you have to do is go into your DApp wallet and go to the actual Web3, and it operates the same. And so the interface and being able to evolve and do all the things right there from your smart device, you still can do that. Um, let's see what else I've got. No, I'm leaving stuff out. We're doing some major upgrades on the miners. We're going to be having um I'm gonna talk more about this, I think, on next week's call because I'll have everything really streamlined. I might be able to even share it with you. A lot of I don't want to call them improvements, enhancements to the your miners, the boosts that are coming out, the gamification for the project. All of these things are now coming together and are just about completed. So it's going to really enhance your mining performance. It's also going to make a big difference when it comes to the ecosystem as well. So I want to share my screen because the first thing I want to go over, I think I'm going to keep tonight to update calls. Next week, it's the week before Christmas. Um, and I'll have a lot more to share with you guys, I think, then. This week has just been kind of a busy, whoops, let me get rid of this. Been a busy week for just getting things completed. I love talking about the liquidity pool, you guys. We've got the most amazing self-funding ecosystem uh, on the planet. This is just an amazing project. I'm not tooting my own horn. It just really is that amazing. If somebody else had created this, I would say the exact same thing. And the friend of mine that I was on the phone with yesterday, also very deeply involved in crypto, and even made the comment, when you started this project and you told me about it, I was like, 6 months, the amount of money it's going to take, the difficulty of the smart contracts. I don't think it can be done. He goes, but you always prove me wrong. You always do everything you say you're going to do. And your pool, he said, blows my mind. He said, it is the most amazing thing I've seen. Super strong pool. He said he's never seen it in the crypto space. And it is just how powerful this project is. And those of you who are here, you guys are going to start to see that over the next, in the future and ongoing in the future. So I always like to talk about the liquidity pool. Why? Because the ecosystem plays right into that. This is a community-driven project, and it's all about the engagement within the ecosystem. The minute you get started with the MoveQuest project, you need to have the MoveQuest token to mint miners or to deposit the MoveQuest into the hatchery. And you'll need MoveQuest to do leasing. So the utility for this token is here. Then you need the MoveQuest for the mining dock. We don't have a burning mechanism, but we do have where we remove MoveQuest from circulation and return it to the vault. So every time somebody mints that tier 1 miner, the mover that is going to be changed to navigator here in the next week or two, that excess MoveQuest that isn't paid out in a commission, it goes right back into the vault to be mined and come back into circulation beginning in the year 2059 when the 21 million MoveQuests have been in circulation. And so we've got all the supply and demand, the balancers, the removal, and that hatchery is a beautiful thing. So those of you who aren't using it, we encourage you to take advantage of it when some space does free up. Right now, it's complete. I think it's 100% full. Well, it's only got 4 MoveQuest available, so I don't even think anybody could get in right now to it until somebody leaves the hatchery. But the beautiful thing is by using the hatchery, it's removed 149,996 MoveQuest out of circulation. This is the max supply for MoveQuest. We mirror Bitcoin's tokenomics, their halving schedule, the whole bit. We have a liquidity provision, the self-funding ecosystem. All blockchains are self-funding ecosystems, but we've got even more when it comes to the use of that token within our project that all goes into that liquidity. This is the amount of the MoveQuest that's in the vault. This is the amount of MoveQuest that's been sent to the MoveQuest contract, which we've renounced that contract, so we have no access to it. So once those MoveQuest are sent to that MoveQuest contract address, they're gone forever. They can never be retrieved. They can't be sold. They can't be removed. They're just there. They'll be there forever and ever and ever. The mining dock, when you unlock the mining dock, that MoveQuest becomes liquidity, 100% of it. The comp plan, there's 2,841 MoveQuest in that. The Evolution wallet has 40 at the moment. The hatchery, 149,996. Beautiful thing. Again, that's at today's market value right now, $11.44. That means there's $1,716,687 worth of MoveQuest that's in that contract, incubating miners that isn't going to be sold. And that's a great thing because that is helping us get to a more fluid level in the pool. So if this is always full, this is a great thing. It as the market value of the token increases, so does this market value. So while you're letting that hatchery work for you by incubating more miners for you to use for leasing or whatnot, the market value of the token can start to increase. So it's making you money while it's in the hatchery because it's giving you those miners. And then when you are ready to sell it, you just claim them and do whatever you want with them. So you get all of that MoveQuest back. It doesn't it doesn't stay in the project. It goes back to you once your miners have been incubated. And if you need it back, all you have to do is cancel the incubation and it'll go right back into your wallet. This is what is being held in the airdrop contract, and 2,500 a day is what's distributed from everybody's proof of physical activity that is submitted. Currently, the liquidity pool has 70,287. So there's been quite a bit of selling, which I guess we kind of expect that at, the time of year that it is. But all in all, 20,795,924 MoveQuest tokens is not creating any selling pressure, okay, on the exchange. So in total, to date, there's 453,970 MoveQuest that is in circulation that's outside of that vault. In contracts, it's 249,894. All of you that are wallet holders of MoveQuest, it's a total of 204,076 MoveQuest that's in total circulation. And that 204 does not include this 149,000 that's in the hatchery. Okay, that's included up in here. Just want everybody to understand the difference there, because even though you can cancel it at any time and get your MoveQuest back immediately or when your incubation is completed, they are locked in a smart contract. You can claim them, so I shouldn't say they're locked, but they're deposited into a smart contract, which means they're not being sold. The liquidity pool has 804,427 USDT paired to 70,287 MoveQuests, giving the liquidity pool a current market value of $1.6 million. Now, what I love about this, let me get rid of this here. Okay. I love this number right here. I don't know if any of you were on my call a week ago. We were almost at, I think it was 599,000, maybe. It was closer to $600,000, shy from being fluid. Now, right here, to be fluid, where it says 726,000, the reason we say 370 is because the evolution contract already has all of this MoveQuest banked. Okay, it's got just under 259,000. I have to go get the total. I think last week it added maybe 5 or 6,000 MoveQuest tokens. So we might be down to 249,000 that the evolution contract is still holding. But what this means is we already have half of this amount. This is all that's needed in USDT, and we have a fluid pool. That means that all 204,076 of these MoveQuest tokens could be sold at the market value of the token, or darn near close, within a few pennies or whatever. The market would barely fluctuate from selling pressure. This is a beautiful place to be because that's getting us closer to a very, very stable pool where you don't, if we were a traditional crypto project, okay, that didn't have the self-funding ecosystem, which means every time you guys are engaged in this project, when you mint a miner, if you use the hatchery, when you begin leasing miners, when you join challenges, when you evolve your miners, when you dock your miners, when you submit your proof of physical activity, when you claim your tokens, all of that interaction within the ecosystem provides that liquidity to the pool. It's not your traditional, the community creates the pairs, deposits it into the liquidity, and then you never know when they're going to, pull that liquidity. And so all of that liquidity is coming from the self-funding ecosystem, the engagement from the community in the project. So while all of this is taking place and you're engaging in the app, you're becoming more physically fit, you're moving more, you're becoming more active. We've heard tons of testimonials. And we need to have a Zoom meeting where we just do testimonials because I really need some good recordings, especially for the new website and some things that we're doing so that people can see how powerful this project is on a health level, on a physical level, mental level, even. People who say how much better they're feeling, how much happier they are, how much weight they've lost, medications they're coming off of, because this project motivates you and incentivizes you to move more. But you've got to be really thrilled to death. Those of you who are in this project, do we want to see the $100 market? Oh, who doesn't, right? You love to see those $100 prices. That's amazing to have seen this token go up that high. But what's even better than that is that we've got the liquidity to support this market value. We didn't have the liquidity to support $100 token. It needed like $22 million or something crazy like that to be close to that fluid level. So I love getting down to this fluid level because at that point, it just keeps stabilizing as the token value goes up. Why? Because the ecosystem is providing that stability. It's providing that liquidity. The community is growing every day. We've got, more and more users that are minting and hatching these miners, plugging them into the mining dock. I'm going to show you currently where we're sitting here on the dailies. Let me see if I can come over to the website here. That's not what I want. All right, this is what I want here. This one. Ah, darn it all. I didn't calculate it. Anyway, I'm just showing you this. We're at 35,477 miners that are docked in that mining dock. So if I come back over to my spreadsheet here, and I come over to our daily. Let me see here. Where's my daily? Well, then I'll find it here. Let's see. So this would have been December 6th. We had 35,381 that was in the mining dock. So that was about 4 days ago. And so we are currently, what did I say that was? 35,477, 35,477. So we were almost put in another, what, 150 miners in the last 4 days that are docked in the mining dock. So if I come over to the submission and I show you here, if everybody was submitting on a daily basis, that would be adding $11,000 a day to liquidity just from the submissions. And so that's pretty good. Right now, we're below that, but not a whole ton. I like to give you guys updates. I like you guys to be able to see what's taking place here. Okay, that's submissions. So my whole point is this: as the community is growing, as we become more fluid, and we get to that where that fully diluted market value is, you guys are going to start to see that token increase in market value. And when there is people selling, you're not going to see that steady decline because it's stable at that market value. And that is a big deal. So if you were in a traditional project, like I was talking before, and I went off into another topic, it's the community that provides the liquidity, not the ecosystem from the project. And so with all of the selling, because we've pushed, it's over $20 million now. Okay, that's been paid out through people selling their MoveQuest tokens. That's a ton since July. Let's see, we listed the token July 21st. The mining began on August 1st. That is a lot. That's huge coming from a self-funding ecosystem. Now, if we didn't have that self-funding ecosystem, number one, you'd have never seen that kind of activity on the exchange because there's no way a small community like what we have would have supplied that amount of liquidity. And so what little bit of liquidity would have been there, it would have drained down, and we'd be lucky if this token was sitting at a penny or 2 pennies. Those are just the bare bone facts. And I always talk about Step In because they are a project that had over 2 million people, and because they don't have a self-funding ecosystem where, all of the hundreds of millions of dollars that they've taken in profit, if they would have put that into their liquidity pool, they probably would have a token that was valued at the $1,000 or higher range, even higher. I mean, they've got crazy token numbers. So, but it still could have been. I've ran their tokenomics, and if they would have done it the proper way, they could have had a token that was close to $1,000 today with that kind of with that size of the community that they had. Now they're down to about 11,000 users per month, so it's not going to get there. But my whole point is this: their token barely can get past 15 cents. And that's because they don't have that liquidity provision. They don't have a self-funding ecosystem. They don't have the utility behind those tokens. We've got the utility. We've got the self-funding ecosystem. And that's why you see this token stabilizing with the liquidity pool like it is and still having millions and millions of dollars that the community has already sold in MoveQuest. Our tokenomics are very tight. The supply and demand is also very, very good. The balance is phenomenal, and it's a very powerful project. So bottom line, it doesn't take no time at all for us to add that into the liquidity pool. No time at all. We've already added almost that in just the last 2 weeks from the ecosystem. And so once we get to that fluid level where the FDV has been met, you'll start to see that token value go up. And that is what we want. We want that stable market value so that people are able to sell their token and not see the token price plummet. And that is all coming from that ecosystem. So I just wanted to give you guys an update where we're at today. I'm always, every single day I go in, I like to see where we're sitting on this. I love to see it come down. It drops down about twenty to $30,000, $40,000 a day. So if you look at it like that, we're probably, I don't know, 10 days out, and we should have a fully diluted, the FDV should be at that. We should be fully fluid, I would say within the next 9 to 10 days. And that is an amazing place to be. And that is just up. On that call I had yesterday, we're breaking ground on a lot of first time been done. There's not a project like this on this planet. And what I loved about the conversation yesterday was, I've never seen a liquidity pool do what this one is doing. You guys, I'm not saying that a 1.6 million is a lot in the liquidity, right? You got to see the dynamics behind it, the power behind what this pool is doing and what it has done. And that conversation I was having yesterday is like, I've never seen it done before. Never seen this ever happen in crypto. And so we're just a baby project. We've taken 3 years to develop and create this. We've been on the Avalanche chain to do our proof of concept for what, August to September to October to November, December, a little over 4 months. And this is extremely powerful. What project do you go to that has a community of people that has sold over $20 million of their MoveQuest tokens, still has a market value of $11.44, has an almost completely fluid liquidity pool, $370,000 shy, and we're still getting ready to do our big launch, our big release with all of our features. We've got all the gamification coming, we've got all the boosts and all. You guys are going to be very excited when you see how all this has come together and what it's going to do for your future. Building that healthy, fit body and building your wealth at the same time. It is an amazing project. I'm glad you guys are here. Next week on Tuesday will be the next time I'm on Zoom, and we will be releasing a whole lot of information for you. We'll start going over how the leasing is going to work so you understand the dynamics of it. I'm going to introduce you to the gamification, what to expect there, and how all these boosts and these different features are going to work. We'll see if they have all of the designs done. We'll start to share with you some of the design work that's coming into the gamification side of this. Now things will start moving really fast. The leasing, that's a pretty difficult piece. The challenges is a very difficult piece, but all this other stuff is really quite simple. We'll move very quickly, and so we're off to the races, guys. January 1st is going to be the start of a new future for all of us here. So I'm going to hand this back over to you, Herschel and Ken, because that's all I have for tonight.
Well, thank you. That's a good amount. Greatly appreciate that. I do have a quick question for you. I don't know if it's ready now or not, but on the previous call, and I see a gentleman just asked this question, were you able to actually complete the spreadsheet with the numbers of what each miner, mover, trailblazer, what all those are kind of averaging per day if maxed out?
I
To
do
see
have that somewhere.
or what have you. The reason why, and I know we're going to talk more about this, so I'm just saying it here so everybody can hear it. But the big thing that most people are trying to figure out now is, okay, what can I lease my miners for? I know you may not be able to give anybody an answer on that, but I just want to let everybody know that either that's coming and or that's what we're going to have those discussions so that everybody, when leasing is available, will be locked and loaded with and armed with all the information that they need in order to make that happen. But that's the root of
So
what.
that's next week, Tuesday. I plan to have all of that done so that people can start to decide what it is they're going to charge for their rental fees. You know what I mean, on their miners. This way they're going to be able to have a better idea. What is my miner earning? What is the average? All of that good stuff. I'm trying to get it set up so that it's actually on the website so people can go there and do all their, basically a simulator so that they kind of get an idea of what would be a fair market value for rent on that miner, and then they can go above or below it if they want to. I'd like to see it set up so that what is the average rental fee? What is a fair rental fee? And then what is my rental fee going to be? So you can kind of see if it is too high or too low. So I've been working that out on the spreadsheet so that the developers can implement that into the site as a simulator.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Well, that's
And
all
you and I were on a call earlier today, and it was a really good call. And one of your questions that you brought up is the hatchery going to affect, the the ecosystem. And I think I answered it tonight when I showed how it's pulled $1.7 million worth of MoveQuest out of circulation. And so it helps us get to that more fluid level of that pool. If all of that MoveQuest, let me show you guys something real quick here. I want you to see the difference. If I was to, I want to copy this number so I can put it back in. Let's just say we didn't have the hatchery, right? None of this MoveQuest was in that liquidity. Do you see the difference? In order for us to be fluid, we would need 2.4 million to be fluid, which, okay, we do have enough MoveQuest because we've got the 200, probably about 249,000 now. It would take 106,000. We don't want to use the MoveQuest at this low market value, not even a tiny bit, because, for example, this MoveQuest right now is worth, let me see here, this times this. Okay, give you an idea. It's worth 2.9 million. Okay, that the evolution is already purchased at this market value. Now it's purchased it at lower values than this, it's purchased it at much higher values than this. So it was probably worth a whole lot more at the time that it was buying all this. Now, let's say we wait. I'm just going to show you what it would take if the market value was, we'll say, even at $50. Okay, so I'm going to put $50 in here, and we're going to take this equals this times this. You see the difference? Here you've got 2.9 million. Here you got 12.9 million. Now, if we were to change this to $100, that MoveQuest is now valued at 25,954,000. You pair that to USDT, that's $52 million in the liquidity pool. So we would rather use this MoveQuest at higher market values when it's depositing that liquidity from the USDT that comes in through the ecosystem, because it's going to have a bigger impact when the market value is a lot higher. So, this token here could be at Bitcoin prices with a community of 25, 30,000 people, literally. It doesn't take us long to get way up there in market value because of the way the ecosystem works in the tokenomics of this project. But let's just say, 2,500. Now you're looking at this MoveQuest being worth 648 million versus 2.9 million. So we're very stingy with these tokens as go into the liquidity pool. Now I got to delete all this because I'll lose track of what I'm doing in this spreadsheet. But when you look at, let me go put these back in here, 149,000. So we see it would take 31,000 of these MoveQuests. This is all good. Like that doesn't hurt us to do that, to get us to that fluid pool so that FDV is met, which has never been done, like I said, in crypto. Then the evolution is going to need to start accumulating MoveQuest again. And so you're going to start to see this number decrease because the evolution needs to bank back up what it put in. But now it'll be able to, when it has to purchase that MoveQuest, it brings it back to the contract, pairs it to the USDT, and then injects it. So it's stabilizing the market value that it takes it to. So while the community is building and it's growing, the evolution starts to assist in that market value while stabilizing that pool so that it can basically recoup any of the MoveQuest that it's used at a low market value, so that when we get to a higher market value, that MoveQuest becomes more valuable for the liquidity, making that liquidity pool even more stable. So there's a lot of mechanics and algorithms that work, behind the scenes. And I know you guys have heard me say before, I am not disappointed in this market value of this token whatsoever. It thrills me to death. I love to see that because it is allowing us to get a ground floor, a bottom floor point in that market value, and then start to really drive in that liquidity and stabilize that market even more. And this hatchery has been a blessing in disguise because it's helping you guys get those miners, whether you need them. It's a great onboarding, seriously. Especially when the leasing is here. People will be able to come in and lease your miners and start mining. They can contribute to the ecosystem immediately, but they can deposit into the hatchery. They can go buy the MoveQuest, deposit into the hatchery to incubate their miners. They get all their MoveQuest back. While they're incubating their miners, the market value of that token is increasing in market value. They're leasing your miners while they're incubating their own miners. So then that opens up your miners to lease to new people coming into the community, while the people who have been using your leased miners have hatched and incubated their own miners while holding MoveQuest out of circulation. And they had to go buy that MoveQuest, which drives up the market value, removes it from circulation. They're incubating, they're leasing your miners. It's a beautiful thing. It's a full circle ecosystem. Minting the miners. If they get started, they can mint the Navigator, which is the lowest powered miner called the Mover right now. They can start there. They can mint those to lease those. And I'm going to tell you guys that market value of these miners is going to lock. Currently, and it's getting very, 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 very close. I need to come over to the getting started. Let's go here, get started. Can somebody look and see what that is? I don't have this activated.
Which one of that?
How many move quests does it take? Oh, I could have done this on my spreadsheet, or you guys can tell when I get tired. It's $50. So this equals
to purchase.
Yeah, so $50 divided by this. Okay, 4.36. Now, when MoveQuest gets when it gets back up to $100, which it will, and it won't take long at all to get there, it's going to lock, okay, before it hits that price. And then it's going to take $100. Let's see, one MoveQuest. Oh yeah, I got to times it. Sorry, guys, times it by this. Those $50 miners that you're minting right now are going to cost $437. And that can happen very, very quickly because the algorithm is set to trigger at 50,000 to 100,000 miners in the mining dock. Currently, we're sitting at 35,477. That's not much. That's 35 to 50? We're 14,000 miners away. That could happen in the next month. And so minting those Lennies is going to be it's going to be harder for people to get started minting those miners. This is where that hatchery is going to become a big major deal, because we can, as there's more MoveQuest tokens in circulation from the 2,500 a day that are going out in distribution, you have to remember that it's being matched with an additional 2,500. Everything you mine every day, you've got double that, because you've still got the other half sitting in the vault. And when the community size is demanding more of those tokens, those are being released when the liquidity is more stable. So we'll increase the amount of MoveQuests that can go in the hatchery. And when it's too expensive to mint the miners, some people will just mint them anyway, because the token's market value will be high enough that they'll still do it, because it'll pay them to do it. It'll pay them back to do this. But for those who can't, it's not going to lock them out of participation in our ecosystem, because one, they can lease, and two, they can put them in the hatchery where they can get started. All they have to do is buy the MoveQuest and deposit it, pay the fee, and then wait. And then they get all their MoveQuests back. And so it doesn't cut the community growth out. I hope everybody sees, like, all the dynamics and the pieces that work within this project are to enable the community to grow, so that we don't get so pricey that it locks people out from being able to participate. We want everybody across the globe be able to use this. So the minting is going to become a thing of the past. Yes, people will still mint the miners, but not so much. Will these fees increase? Yes, but it'll be nowhere near what it would cost to mint those miners. And so what people will do is they're going to have to lease from you. while they're waiting for these miners to complete their incubation so you can hatch your miner. It's going to become the drive. And so keeping this right now, it's at 100%. Nobody can use the hatchery until somebody claims their miners and pulls out their MoveQuest. And right now, what we're seeing is that people are not pulling out their MoveQuest. They're not selling it. So why not let it work for them? They just deposit it right back in and they get more miners. Now, this becomes important in the future too, because this starts to make your miners appreciate in value. That's also extremely important. You don't want that over dilution of the miners without the demand, but you also want the market value of those to increase so that the miners that you have already accumulated or are holding, you can lease them or you can swap them, trade them, sell them, whatever it is you want to do when the marketplace opens for that. And so it puts your miners where they're starting to increase in value. They're appreciating in market value, but all of these things that take place within this ecosystem contributes to the liquidity pool. So in your other crypto projects where the creators get all your money and you provide the liquidity and they fail within 6 months to 8 months, I mean, there's some good ones out there, don't get me wrong, but the majority of them are not. They're crapshoots. This project doesn't work that way. It is here forever. And it's 100% decentralized. And I have a lot of people, what does that mean? That means that you are in control of your money. You are in control of this entire system. There's no centralized intermediary operating this. You're in full control. You interact with those smart contracts. Everything is paid to you instantly and in real time. Everything's escrowed in those smart contracts. So you have no risk of losing any money here or anybody running up with your money because those smart contracts manage all of that for you. Here I go. I just got off on a whole nother tangent. I could do that all day with this project. There's just so many things to it that I don't know if
Yeah,
everybody understands it. You know what I mean?
yeah, they're
And you
eating
guys,
it
I'm
up
not
in the
trying to
chat.
dog on other
Yeah.
projects, but somebody's got a dog on those projects.
No. Yeah.
Well, one thing I want to bring up, Lynett, while you were on that, I had a gentleman ask the question, how will that impact commissions by doing that? My response was, people still have to evolve. They can get minors, but they're not getting titans. People will still have to evolve up in order to get those titans, which still, provides commissions. But wanted to hear your response on that.
Well, one, here's what I would say about that. The commissions is not our focus of this project. And it's not even the driver to this project, because if it was, we'd already have hundreds of thousands of people here. I would say that it's probably not, it's probably the most unimportant part of this project. All of you are important here. And all the work that you're doing, your contributions are extremely important and appreciated. But that's not been the driving force behind this project. The driving force for all of you is to build a community and be able to make money without having to rely on those commissions. Where does that happen? Well, when you're building a community, it drives up the market value. And when the market value, when those miners lock at that price for minting those navigator miners, the first tier miner, and it costs $400-500 to mint those miners, are you going to lose commission on that? Probably, because nobody's going to want to mint them at that price. They're going to want to lease them from you. There's your commission right there. You've now set your own stage for the profit that you're going to make on the assets that you have purchased. Your miners become the driving force. Now, you can put them on the global market, and people who just randomly come to the site will see them. They'll be able to stake to them, but it also gives you an opportunity when you're sharing the project. Look, you don't have to spend any money. All you got to do is get some AVAX and you can rent a miner from me. You don't have to spend money to mint a miner. I've got miners right here. Might cost you $5 a month, $10 a month. As the market value goes up in the token, obviously you're going to increase that rental fee. It'd be just like, if you live in, well, let's see, when I was growing up, we had territories, right? If you lived on Baker Street, we knew not to go there after dark. And if you lived on Morris River Drive, where Magic Johnson lived, hey, you could go there all night long. Wasn't going to hurt you. If you lived on my street, you still locked your doors and you stayed inside. Okay, it's like that. It's like those assets are appreciating in value. Okay, right now, it might like you're living in a $20,000 house, but as the market value increases, those babies are your $1 million house. Okay. And so the rental fee on those begin to increase as well. I don't know how else to give you guys, like a visual, a mental visual of what I'm trying to say. But that's what I'm trying like as the market value increases, so does the demand and your rental fee will increase. But right now, that's really where this becomes more powerful for our community, I think, because you have those assets. Now, here's the thing. Let's say you don't have the assets and you still share it with somebody and they go to the open marketplace. They still use your activation code, even if they're renting from somebody else. But as the person who owns that minor, they're able to pay you a commission for renting their minor out. Okay, there's two layers there. So let's say Ken owns a minor and Herschel shares it with his brother, but he doesn't have a minor. Well, that's all right because Herschel's going to give his brother his activation code. His brother is going to go rent the minor from Ken. And Ken can set up in his contract that because this minor was brought, this person was coming in from a referral, Ken can set it up to pay Herschel a percentage of that rental fee, or he doesn't have to. So even if you don't have minors, you're still going to be able to take advantage of the leasing. And then when that person does decide to mint minors or, get engaged, they're coming in under you. So when they mint, let's say they use the hatchery, okay? They've leased, they've got MoveQuest, they use the hatchery, they, work their way up to the vanguards. Now they have to go evolve those vanguards to the Titan if they want the highest powered minor, and you will get those commissions. Trust me, guys, I've thought of everything when it comes to this. I don't think there's anything that I've left out.
Yeah, that's another wrinkle. Having someone refer people to get minors, and you can cut them in the deal, 5%, 3%, whatever. Have someone finding people to come to the table to you. It's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother business. It really is. That's powerful. Didn't even think about that.
I'm
Hmm.
sure the answer to this question is yes, but is the price going to change to deposit into the hatchery as the price of MQT goes
It
up?
will. Yeah,
Yeah.
it will, but it will still be considerably less than what it would be to mint the minor once it's locked and the price goes up. So the whole thing behind the hatchery, it's really so it is contributing to the ecosystem. So we have to make sure of that, and that's why that fee is there because that's liquidity. But the biggest piece, the biggest bang that the community gets out of that hatchery is all of that MoveQuest being in that smart contract, not being sold. So the liquidity pool can stabilize and increase in market value. And so the biggest drive for us is to have the MoveQuest in the contract, not so much the fees. That's why the fees are as low as they are, because it's doing so many more powerful things behind the scenes where the liquidity pool is concerned. So it benefits the community using the hatchery. It also benefits the liquidity pool and the project as a whole. And that's why you see those fees low, because you're locking those tokens up to get those miners. And that allows the market to go up, the liquidity to stabilize from, the ecosystem itself. And then when you get them back, hopefully the market value is increased. And what you can at that point, if it was me and I needed money, I would take a percentage and I would sell that and I would take that MoveQuest and I put it right back into the hatchery and let it work for me again. And you can compound what you're making. You can be increasing the assets that you're holding while compounding the amount of money that you are able to make while the market value of that token is going up. By locking into that hatchery, you're stabilizing the project, you're making it more powerful. You're helping us get that liquidity where it needs to be. And in the meantime, that MoveQuest is working for you. It's increasing a market value and you're able to make it work for you. It's a full circle. It's a very powerful piece to the system. Step In is a crypto app, yes. I'm just kind of
Yeah,
going through these.
Okay.
you know what MoveQuest is right now? It's that duck you see on the top of the water just gliding along. And you look under the
Hmm.
water and them feet are just that's what this is right here. Folks, I'm telling you, don't let this kind of this what we've been going through over the last few weeks. You're not seeing the full scale of what's going on. And really it's about to pick up like Lynett's explaining, right? These are things we're learning and we're kind of, on in the day out communications with Lynett, and we're learning stuff tonight. And it's just like, wait a minute, whoa, hold on. So it's exciting. It's really exciting times for sure.
Yep. Yeah, and to see a liquidity pool like this, it's mind blowing. I knew because I have my numbers, but people don't always trust what they're told. You know what I mean? They always, it's like, yeah, I've heard that before. No, you really have never seen or heard anything like this before. We put our money where our mouth is.
Yeah, so we're
And you know
looking at
what? This has been designed to change people's lives. Sorry. This has been my whole focus. I am so tired of seeing projects fail, fall, and go by the wayside. I am so tired of listening to people, who've lost their money, who've been scammed, have been, hacked from just craziness. The crypto space is such a powerful place to be. I love it. I'm addicted to it. I've been involved in it since 2009. It's so powerful. I've never created a project. I've only shared one project and it needed an ecosystem. It was supposed to have the ecosystem. It's why I got involved with it at the level I did. And they didn't build the ecosystem and it went down. And they all will go down if they don't have an ecosystem. You got to have the utility, you've got to have the ecosystem, or it will not work. It will fail. It's just the way it is. Plain and simple. It will happen to every single project. This project won't fail because it is fully decentralized. I am in control of nothing. You guys are in total control. If the community grows, it's because it is a peer-to-peer community. The liquidity, it's all because of you. It's because of all of your engagement in this project. Our retention rate is extremely high. We're over 90% retention rate. That's unheard of in the crypto space. It's life-changing. It is providing the health results that people are already feeling and have the testimonials to share. Even the money, it's been life-changing for many of you here. Those of you who are holding, it's going to be even more life-changing than it has been for those who have sold. But, $20 million that has been sold on the marketplace in such a short time, that's nothing to sneeze at. That's huge. That's life-changing money. So I know this project has changed lives because we only have roughly, 5,000 people in our community. Imagine what it's going to be like when there's 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, a million people, and it will get there. And we're growing the right way. We're not overly inflating the market value of the token by a quick influx of people who come and go because, the engagement level wouldn't be there. We're doing it the right way. Is it slow? It's slow, it's constant, it's consistent, and it's stable. And that's the best thing. And it will reach that level where one day you'll just wake up and this thing will be like going off like gangbusters. And you'll be like, whoa, what the hell just happened? But here's the good thing. When somebody who's holding 1,000 MoveQuest tokens or 2,000 MoveQuest tokens goes to sell them, it's not going to drop the liquidity where everybody's sitting here holding a bag of worthless tokens. No, it's stable. And when they sell it, it's still stable. That is a true crypto project. And you don't get there overnight. You get there. Look at Bitcoin. We're already doing way past what Bitcoin did. It took them 3 years to do what we've already done. And that's because of the liquidity provisions that we have in place. It's because of the utility. We are different than a blockchain. We operate on a blockchain and we're using the blockchain fundamentals, but we've incorporated it into a project and it makes it even more strong, in my opinion. And you're seeing it happen. And I took a lot of time to map out the blueprint for this, a ton of time. It took me a very long time to map this project out. And then it's taken us 3 years to put it together. And while Lead will tell you, coding my brain is not the easiest thing in the world to do. And he's a very patient man, able to put up with me and be able to get this done like he has, and to bring on the other developers that we have and the other designers that we have and the people that are coming together. And we are putting the most fantastic uh, team together. It's just amazing to watch it all happen. And It really is. You guys, you look at the market value of people who don't really look behind the scenes. They don't understand how many tokens are actually in circulation. We have not, and purposely, and I had this conversation yesterday too. A lot of people ask, well, why aren't you on CoinMarketCap yet? We're not quite ready for CoinMarketCap either. Not just yet. You want that pool to be really solid when you hit CoinMarketCap. You could already go there and you can see what it says and, get a pretty good idea. We want to go up there when one, the app is fully released. Two, the MoveQuest website is completely done. We're not on that dev site. We've got that liquidity pool at that fluid level. We are rocking it out. We've got all the information we need on CoinMarketCap. And when people are coming there and they're looking, they're getting the true vision. They're saying, oh, wow, look, they've only got 450,000 tokens in circulation. That token's already at, $150, $200. Look at the liquidity is there. That's when you're going to start seeing that buyer seller market take off like gangbusters, because that's when your people who are trading are going to dump $50,000 to buy that token, $100,000 to buy that token. And when it goes up in market value, they know they're going to be able to sell it and they're not going to lose money. It builds that trust in that token, in that market. That's what you want. I really don't care, about some of the things that other people care about, because some things we're not quite ready for. There are things that need to take place to stabilize, to be powerful, to have that trust level. Just going on market cap does not make us a trustworthy token. I don't care if people trust it or not. Come to one of our Zooms or do your research, listen to some of our other presentations, understand the tokenomics behind this. Whether they trust, like, okay, if it's not CoinMarketCap, can we really trust it? I don't want to go on CoinMarketCap and look weak. I want to go on CoinMarketCap and be strong, build that trust immediately. When people look at that, they're wowed by this project. They compare it to others and they're like, whoa, okay, this is the real deal. And it's where we're at. That's what I want to wow the world with this project. I want it to come off the right way. I want it to go up on these platforms when it's supposed to go up on these platforms so that it does what it's supposed to do. And then when they go to CoinMarketCap, they will see these are the smart contracts. These are the tokens. This is all that's in circulation. Wow, 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 wow. We want our features up, so we're a completed project. So we're getting there very quickly. You guys, I would say, not counting challenges, because that's a challenge. We're getting there, but we're still running into things that have to be fixed. So I wouldn't expect that until maybe even spring, quite frankly. But everything else done by the end of the month, latest the end of January, that's a completed system. We're talking the gamification, the boost, all the different, we got so much coming. I almost spilled the beans. We got so much coming, it's not even funny. You guys are going to be so wowed yourselves. But that's why we're not up on CoinMarketCap yet. I am the one dragging my feet on that. We could be there. I'm dragging my feet. I know how to do this and do it the right way and get us there when we need to be. So you guys just got to trust me on that a little bit. How I got up on CoinMarketCap, I don't even know.
Yeah, there's a few topics that pop up occasionally that aren't really, I wouldn't say they're not relevant, but you know, based off of what you're doing currently right now, they're not really having an effect whether we're winning or losing. Like we're winning, 20 million
Yeah.
paid out. I mean, this stuff is incredible what you're doing. But one thing I've learned about Lynett, and she's told you, when she says she's going to do something, she's going to do it. So I already know what the questions are. We've seen the questions in the chat already. I'm deleting them because think about it. You've been here long enough to know that Lynett's going to deliver on what she's going to deliver on, and you see what she's actually doing right now. She said, when we get this chain in order, when we get this product, this platform in order with the Avalanche side, everything else is going to work itself out. That's all you need to know. Time will tell. But once this thing is popping, like she said, everything else falls in place. So just want to put that out there.
Yeah,
'Cause,
so there's
yeah.
some of the, yeah, no, and that's a really good point. I'm glad you did. Some of the questions too in regards to the hatching. I want you guys just to kind of start preparing yourselves, because it when the leasing comes out, that's part of the algorithm that's not counted in the locking of that MoveQuest to mint that miner. And if once we hit that fluid level, the leasing comes out, the hatching's already full, it could pop that trigger to lock it. even before the 50,000. Based on my algorithm, I estimate it to be between 50,000 and 100,000. But there's a lot of dynamics that are taking place with the stability of this project, which are over the top. So I'm not telling you to spend money you don't have. Don't do that. But if you've got that MoveQuest and you want to mint those Lennies, I would do it. Here I call them Lennies, but now they're movers going to Navigator. I'm going to get confused on that for a little while. You guys, we're really starting to go into the gamification side of it. I'm not a gamer. And so like Herschel and Ken and Corey, there's my son, different people who are gamers. They've got some really good ideas as to the names and what the theme is and how that's all going to roll and help me, really kind of hone down that gamification side. And so these names are changing and I'm having sometimes my brain still goes back to what these are. But those are your digital real estate. They won't be $50 for long. I would say within the next 30 to 60 days, that will lock and you won't see unless the market value goes down. And once we lock it, if the market value goes down, the market value to mint would go down as well. Because it would just simply be locked. But once that happens, that algorithm is letting us know that that's probably not going to happen again, that we're at a stable market level where the market value would just start to increase. So you can start to see that appreciation in those digital assets that you have. So I'm just giving you guys forewarning that it is getting close. The things are coming in together. It's very, very strong. All the dynamics of this. And then the hatching, will increase the amount that MoveQuest that can go into the hatchery. And yes, the prices of the hatchery will increase because that will become a liquidity provider as well. But it still won't be anywhere near what it would cost to mint a miner. We got to keep that drive, that demand for those leased miners very high. And that hatchery and the leasing play into it. It allows us to build the community without a person having to come in and actually mint a miner.
Perfect. Anything else you got, Ken?
I got nothing, man.
Miss Lynette, we would definitely want to thank you for taking the time to come and share with us and kind of add some color to, what we're all looking at and doing. And we can't wait. We're definitely looking forward to what's in store next Tuesday and the following week, once after Christmas, being able to actually start putting some of this further into motion. But in order to do that, we want to prepare ourselves now, not after the fact.
I was just about to say, what are our marching orders, Lynette?
Shoulda, coulda,
What are
woulda.
our marching? Let's go.
Well, I can tell you if I was an outsider looking at this project, I would be all over it. I wish, I used to be into networking and I quit doing it because it just seemed like I'm a go-getter. I don't sit back and, not do anything. And if I saw something that I thought was really powerful, I could build it. But they always seem to just fall apart. And then I was called, oh, she's a scammer. This project fell or this company went down or I didn't own any of them. I didn't create any of them. And so I got to the point where I was like, probably like many of you, like, screw this, I'm not doing it anymore. So I don't have those teams of people. I could call 12 of my builders and I'd have 30,000 people in a company in less than 60 days. That's just the way I worked. But I quit doing it in 2014. I was in a company called Zeke Rewards that was shut down, and that was a big mess. And so I just was done. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. It's just, and that's really what drove me to create MoveQuest because I'm like, okay, I know crypto. I know how this is supposed to work. I know what it takes. Do it and get it done. So if it was me coming to this project as an outsider, I'd be telling everybody in the world about it. I would be getting everybody involved, period. Even if I got them set up with a Lenny miner. That's just how I operate. I wouldn't be sitting back on it because it's going to get for people that like to network. This is the perfect time to get in. only because you can really stack up on your digital real estate. Once we really take off in this, it's going to be difficult for people to acquire that digital real estate. This is the prime time to get as much of that as you can. At the same time, never spend more money than you can afford to spend. Like, don't go without, you know, groceries and electricity and all these other things. You got to take care of your lifestyle first. I mean, that's first. You got to take care of your families. But if it was me, I would be acquiring as many of those digital assets as I could, because there is going to come a point in time where the minting of the miner isn't going to be the go-to way to get started in this project. It's going to be the leasing. And that's what you want those miners for. And these miners, you won't be able to buy them. They go up in price just like uh, the MoveQuest token does. The evolution is going to increase. The hatchery is going to increase. The leasing is going to be, I believe, the driving force behind this project. And once those miners begin to increase and the hatchery begins to increase, it will take more to acquire that digital real estate. So you're getting them at the lowest price that you'll probably ever see them again.
So basically, everything's on sale, and we need to hurry up. Basically,
Yeah.
I mean, I hung around,
Yep.
and I think Brandon and I have an experience, or probably a few people here, when the gala nodes were, a couple of $100, $600. I remember getting the emails when they were, $800, $1,300, and I just kept ignoring it. I didn't know what a node was. I was in just playing this little game or whatever. And then I don't know, in the course of 6 to 12 months, I looked up and the node was worth 100 grand.
Talking
One
about those
node.
gala nodes.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Yep.
I
Yep.
could have bought them
So
when they
I've
were
seen it.
500 bucks and I didn't do it.
Exactly. And so I've already seen what these assets can do when you're not paying attention, and you're just like, okay, yeah, that little, just put it off another day, another week, and that becomes another quarter, another year. And you look up and you're like, yeah, you missed it just like that, a few Lennies, whatever, is better. Like someone asked earlier, which should I get more Lennies? Should I get more of the bigger ones? It doesn't matter. Just get some, just own some, because once you own them, you can always evolve them up. Right. So yeah, get more Lennies, get more of whatever you can afford to do, like Lynett said, without, putting yourself out there and, not cutting into your lifestyle and the things that you have to pay for. We're not here to tell you to do that, but this stuff could be life changing. It has been. $20 million has changed a lot of lives. It really has.
So I love what
So
Justin just put in here too, because I was going to say this and then I
yeah,
didn't. Gala notes are 100 grand now, and their tokens are less than 10 cents. Again,
there you go.
another, to me, another colossal failure because they
Big
don't
time.
have the ecosystem. They didn't have the utility, they didn't have the ecosystem, and every single project that does not have a self-funding ecosystem with loads of utility are going to
Right.
fail.
Yep.
And Gala, in my opinion, is a failure. Yes. Did it make turn millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars out? Absolutely. Was it great when it was up? It was, but they could have done so much better, and they could have made it so much more stable, and they could have had their tokens could have been above what Bitcoin is right now if they'd have done it right, and they didn't. That's sad when you see so much potential.
Yeah. Yeah, they had
MoveQuest,
everything.
we don't need millions of people for our token to hit 100 grand. We don't even need what Steppen had for our token to hit 100 grand.
What's the number, Lynette? Just blow us away with that. We'll hang it up.
If we 500,000 people in MoveQuest and our token is valued at what Bitcoin is today.
Good night. I think we could do that. Wow.
Easily.
Wow. Wow. All right. I
All
think
right.
that's a
Well,
good
that's all I
cliffhanger right
have.
there.
That's all I have. I want to thank everybody for coming out
Beautiful.
tonight and receiving this wonderful information. Let's go process it. I'll have the recording out. Anybody wants to go back and listen to this again or share it with somebody that wasn't able to be here with us this evening. And as always, tomorrow is Wednesday. So on the you can get the presentation schedule from inside the Discord group for Brandon and Mornita. Do a call on Wednesday I believe it's at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to share the opportunity or this platform with anybody you think may be interested. Until next time, everyone, have a great evening. Bye-bye for now.